How's it going? Suda51 here. I thought about making another video because there was something in particular I really wanted to discuss. For one, if you know me, I'm not really a serious gamer. There's a lot of games out there, in my opinion, that just take themselves a little bit too seriously. I mean, if you see my last video, my thoughts on Twisted Metal, I don't think that's a very quote-unquote serious game. I mean, you got a bunch of dolls and face-painted skulls and clowns and preachers driving around and destroying things with cars. And while that is mature in its own sense, I still think it's just one of those, games that's just so fun to play. And I think, in my opinion, I think the best example of a game like that would be Shadows of the Damned. In my opinion, games like these really, I think, are very underrated. I don't think a lot of people know about games like this. If you don't know about this, first of all, the main man behind this is a guy named Suda51, who is kind of known as the Quentin Tarantino of the video game industry. He makes games that are like, for one, nobody's ever thought of. His other game, Killer 7, which I actually still have, was the first game he brought in the US, and it was just a blast. Nobody exactly knew what it was, or actually, like, if it was brought by humans, It was like, it was that different, it was that unique, and it was that crazy. So, with Shadows, basically, you play this, this Mexican Dante / demon hunter, Garcia fucking Hotspur. And now that I think about it, I think his last name is fucking. It's got a capital F like a proper title. I don't know. But it's just a very fun game. The guy who produced it is Shinji Mikami, who directed the first Resident Evil, but he also directed Resident Evil 4 with the over-shoulder shooting, with the laser sight in front of it and everything like that. Except with this one, you can actually move around. You can, shoot people, then dodge, and then shoot people again. It's a really intricate game. And I think one of the biggest highlights for me, anyway, is the music is done by Akira Yamaoka, who did the Silent Hill series of music. So that's pretty much the three big amigos of the video game industry made this bad boy. And sadly enough, and I never quite understood why, it didn't really sell out all that much in the market, I mean, I guess nobody really thought it was all that interesting, which is a shame, because it's got some very good gameplay, it's got some very insane humor. Did I mention one of the games? Okay, here, check this out. Basically, Garcia has this guy named Johnson. Yes, that's right, Johnson, who can turn into a motorbike and a variety of weapons, one of which is a pistol known as, brace yourselves, the Boner. And later in the game, you'll acquire, a little bit more pack for your punch, so you're going to have to call a phone sex line, thus turning it into the Big Boner, which Garcia thrusts and shoots from his crotch while firing. Taste my big boner. Yes, it's, as you know, a game that is not supposed to take itself seriously. So that's pretty much Shadows. And a lot of games nowadays, as I said before, with first-person shooters, what else we got? The Batman game, I actually personally tried, and I love comic book heroes. To me, they're like the modern-day Greek mythology. And I started playing it, and, it's just, they just force these activities onto you. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a good game, but for a critically acclaimed game, it's really got a lot of flaws, I mean, I don't know why. It's always the underground stuff that I've always felt was like the least games to have problems. They had little to no problems, almost, as a matter of fact. And this one in particular. I know that Suda is making a new game, and Akira Yamaoka is still going to be doing the music score for that, Lollipop Chainsaw. I'm super excited for that game. I don't know if I'll necessarily buy it the first time, because I'm saving up my cash for the Twisted series, but I think it's definitely it's a rental for me, at least for now. If it's as good as we hope it is, then fucking full price. Yeah, go for it. I I don't know. I think Suda is just getting really underrated. I think we should have like some sort of, I don't know, show. I mean, maybe I should do it, where we just shout out some really good old games that nobody's ever played. I mean, there are certain games that I feel like deserve a lot of respect. Mad World, Painkiller, let's see, Gungrave Overdose. Like, nobody knows Gungrave Overdose. I'd be surprised if anybody here did. So, you know, let's just hope that maybe sometime in the future, maybe we can just somehow just bring out these games and just can kind of pull the rug out from people's feet and just say, you really think that game's the shit? Oh, you haven't seen nothing. I don't know, I'm going on a little fanboy rant here, but I just can't help it. There are just certain games out there that need to be looked upon a little bit more. Shadows, Killer 7, Gungrave are one of the very few. So that's all I gotta say. Give me your comments are nice, so peace.